Hello and welcome to Triangle BNI. Today's show is brought to you by Oak City Tech. Oak City Tech gives their clients an edge over their competition with web and logo design that make them stand out. They increase brand awareness and generate leads with SEO and social media presence, then convert those leads into clients with content creation and email marketing. Please go to oakcitytech.com, find out how they can help you. Tell Drago we said hi. He's been a big help to me and to the program. Hi, everybody. My name is Mike Manning, and each week we bring you a small business success story from Triangle BNI. If you are not familiar with BNI, it is Business Networking International, the world's largest networking organization. Our little slice of heaven here in the Triangle is Raleigh, Durham, and Chapel Hill. Each week, 30 chapters and almost 600 members get together, and we all help each other grow their business. And our guest today is Andy Kraft with Spectrum Business. Andy, glad to have you here today.
Glad to be here. Thanks for having me today.
Andy is a business account executive with Spectrum. He is president of Vis-a-Vis chapter, meets Thursday mornings at Hope Community Church at 7:30. If you are an early bird and you like Thursday mornings, you want to go meet some good, colorful people that pass a lot of money, please go to Hope Community Church. How is life as president these days?
It's great. Yeah, I'm enjoying my new role.
Okay.
Our chapter is a great little chapter.
Yep.
We have a lot of fun. We pass a ton of business, which is what it's all about. Some people balk at the idea of the 7:30 meeting, but for those people like us,
Yep.
that are driven and want to go out and succeed, you got to start your day early.
And it's wonderful for the tradespeople because by 9 o'clock, they're done and they're off to their first appointment.
Absolutely. And we've got several tradespeople that
I know Johnny and Chris love those. They get going early.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, for a tradesperson to take time out of the middle of their day to come to visit a networking group, it's just not going to happen.
Yeah, you'd love to be that customer when you go, excuse me, I'll be back in 2 hours. I'm going to go to a meeting.
Yeah.
I don't think that would go over well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, Spectrum Business.
Yes, sir.
The industry, there's 2.5 million players that could provide service to me and anybody listening at our house. We see your ads all the time.
Yep.
What separates you guys?
So there really is only 2 or 3 players. There's only a handful of players. When you boil it down to what the market is really like. That being said, there's plenty of resellers out there that will resell one provider's service under a different name. Okay. There's also quite a bit of sharing of services and layering of services and things like that. But as far as actually the delivering of the final product, in each market, there's really only a handful of providers that do that.
And you guys pull out some heavy hitters for your national ads. I think the latest one I've seen
is
with Ellen.
Yes.
And they pretty much all tout the 10 times the speed.
Absolutely. Yes.
Putting that into perspective I'm on a scale of 1 to 10, technology-wise, I'm on the scale, but it's not real high. Right. What does that mean to me? Would I know the difference between 5 times versus 10 times faster?
Oh, you would absolutely notice it. From everything from just your general browsing when you're looking through web pages.
Yeah.
As a small business owner, if you're processing credit cards, if you're doing any kind of cloud-based solutions, like if your accounting solutions is through something like QuickBooks Online, being able to get to that online quickly, it's going to make you more productive and it's going to make your employees more productive.
If someone is looking to make a decision, either they've just moved here or they have another provider and they're trying to decide what to do in general, whether they go with Spectrum or not, and hopefully they'll call you and you'll make a lot of money, go buy that beach house.
Absolutely.
Someday. What are the 2 or 3 things they're looking for that would make it the right purchase?
So obviously they're looking for the products that are going to support their business, be it internet and phone service. Those are the 2 core products that we provide. After that, they're gonna need, they're definitely going to want it to be reliable, and we have a 99.9% reliability rating. So that's been independently verified. Mm-hmm. Okay. So those are the 2 key things from the product side of it. Having the products they need, having it fast and reliable, but then also on the pricing side and having it affordable. We cover all those bases.
And I'm a Spectrum customer. I'll say that up
Awesome.
front, even before I met you.
Yeah,
I'm a Spectrum customer. I know, if I can go down this road here, I know when you guys used to be Time Warner,
right,
hammered on customer service. Today,
right,
don't hear a peep. At least I don't. In the
Right.
normal channels I used to hear it on. And I'm one of those customers about once a month, someone will just go goofy with the TV or something. I was having to ask them to reboot the
Right.
box. Takes 5 or 8 minutes. I get on, I call, it's digitally done. Man, my problem solved. So I love that part of it.
Well, we have done some initiatives since we were purchased by Charter
Mhm.
and rebranded under the Spectrum name, where we brought more of our customer care US based.
Mhm.
So that's a big help. Our network's more stable. But for me personally, and you and I have spoken about this, especially on the business class
Yeah.
side, having somebody locally like myself who can run interference if you call into the customer care and you're not getting the responses that you deserve, then you having somebody like me who can intervene on your behalf is it's priceless.
Talk about the difference between a business for those of us like me who
Uh-huh.
work out of their house,
Right.
which is just a bad idea for me. I get too distracted. Like, let me. I found that I eat more when I'm home by myself because
Yes.
a half hour's gone by. It's like, let me get up and stretch because of my back. Let me walk around. Let me see what's in the fridge. Or
Right.
my wife made blueberry muffins yesterday, so I'm sure I'll have 3 more of those
Yeah.
today. But
Just tried to buy grandson.
oh yeah, pictures everywhere. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Great life to live. But if you are working out of your house, there are some serious advantages going with Spectrum Business. Not only they get you locally in your cell phone number to call Andy, I got a problem.
Right.
But there's some other nice built-in advantages.
Yeah, absolutely. So we do have some what we call SOHO solutions, small office, home office, where we can deliver business class services to a home-based business. It's become a little bit more difficult than what it used to be, but we can still do it.
Yeah.
But what you get is our network traffic on the internet is prioritized over the residential traffic. So what you're able to do is, residential traffic, you'll often see kind of lull periods where you may not be getting the speed that you expect. We don't have that with the business class services, even if it's going to a residence, because the traffic over the network is prioritized. You also get preferential treatment on trouble tickets. So if there's any kind of a widespread outage due to weather or somebody with a backhoe cuts a line somewhere, we're gonna get our business class customers online first.
Okay. And I've found through all the years of working, if you can find out if you're looking for a house, you identify the neighborhood. If you can find out if there's an elected official or the head of the cable company lives there,
right?
Then it's gonna be restored pretty fast.
That's a good.
I know you can't confirm or deny that, but I've had those discussions before.
Yes, those are good rules of thumb.
The mayor lives where? Great, we're moving there. So, again, we talked earlier. I know we all see your commercials.
Mm-hmm.
We know what you guys tout. What do the competitors use against you guys?
Name recognition is one. Just having there's still plenty of people out there that think of the phone company as being AT&T.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So that's who they call for their service. What do they tout against us? Again,
is there much?
Yeah, no, they've got their name recognition and the inertia that comes with it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's pretty much it. So, now I will say this: they do have a couple solutions that can be attractive on the really low end scale.
Okay.
But most businesses these days, it doesn't support their level of business because it just doesn't provide the speed that most businesses need these days.
See, now hang on a sec. For those of you who have listened to us for a long time, anytime there's a computer or technology show, I can see Amnon's microphone come down and he is fired up already. We're 11 minutes in.
I was going to say, when you get around to it, ask Andy also about their phone service now, the mobile, because that's something that can save a lot of people money.
Absolutely.
You are an expert, so answer away.
Wow, my manager is going to be so glad that you asked about this, because yeah, we launched as a company. We launched our mobile service quite a while ago, and I immediately got my family signed up on it because it's a great plan. It's a great program. You mentioned our celebrity endorsers like Ellen, that they get out there and promote it. And it's a great value, and it works really well. Again, in this industry, everybody kind of uses everybody's network at some level. So we've got the broadest footprint of any wireless carrier. So there's no reason not to use it, and it works great. So I got my wife and my daughter signed up on it first, and then several months ago, my son was like, "Hey, it's time for me to get a cell phone." And
how old is he?
He just turned 12.
You're a way better parent than I was.
Yes, yeah.
Of course, we didn't have cell phones when my kid was 12.
Right. But he's a really responsible kid, and so he's great. So it was a no-brainer. But we went in, and within about 10 minutes walked out with a brand new cell phone for him, activated, ready to go, and it was great.
Yeah.
So
And the price is right.
So that was on residential service. We've just launched mobile services for businesses now.
Ooh.
So where you can tie your mobile service to your business account, which is a great way for you to help reduce what you're spending on your telecommunications budget.
Okay.
And it puts it in your business's name. And, I'm not going into accounting, but that's, having it in your business name is nice.
If I remember right from back in the day, and this may have changed, the actual carrier, the physical wiring from neighborhood to point to point is shared. Are those cables shared still?
At some point,
okay,
everywhere it's shared.
Okay,
yeah,
but cell towers are not. Doesn't Verizon have their own?
Verizon
has their own.
There's 2 or 3 main carriers that have their own, but everybody shares off of them.
Oh, okay.
So, for instance, like the cell towers, we provide the fiber to the cell towers for most of Verizon cell towers.
Oh, okay. Right.
Okay. So, we use them for a lot of their network, and they use us for a lot of their network.
Okay.
So
good to know.
Yeah.
All right. So are you an expert in all this stuff? Right?
Absolutely
you travel
not.
the area.
Absolutely not. The gentleman across the desk from us is probably knows more about the actual technology of it.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's why we have him here. He's our fact checker.
Yes. Yes. So
you have well, anyways, let me do this real quick. We're here with Andy Kraft, business account executive at Spectrum Business. Today's show is brought to you by Oak City Tech, where they help you reach your goals with proven technologies for increasing traffic leads and sales. Please go to oakcitytech.com. Tell Drago we said hi. You're a beach boy.
Yes, sir.
Always been a beach boy. Grew up a beach boy.
Not quite always, but pretty much.
You can take the boy out of the beach, but you can't take the beach out of the boy. Is that how the line goes?
Yeah, pretty much. More just the fisherman.
Right.
Yeah, my wife is a beach person that loves to go sit on the beach.
Okay.
I'm fine sitting on the beach if I've got a fishing rod in my hand.
There you go.
So,
and the kids?
The kids, both.
Okay.
Yeah, my daughter's taking up surfing.
There you go.
Yeah. I used to surf a lot,
Mm-hmm.
and it was a lot. Surfing was a lot easier when I was young and skinny.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I've heard.
It's gotten much more difficult, but got out there and taught her how to surf as much as I could teach her.
Yeah.
Done a little bit myself, which was fun.
Nice.
But she's really picked it up. She loves it. My son, he'll go out there and do whatever on the beach, play around and fish with me, and yeah.
Okay.
So
each week in a BNI meeting, there's a featured speaker, and depending on the size of the group, the speech is either 5 minutes, 6 minutes, or 10 minutes. I know you guys are 10 minutes. We always have the speaker bio sheet that we introduce everybody from. And I've got this memorized, so I'm just go off top of my head, go through this. I always ask people, how did you meet your wife? And you tell the story the same way.
Yes, I do tell the story the same way.
That was a quick answer.
Absolutely.
So okay. All right.
Yes.
Let's hear it.
So how I met my wife, and it's a good story. We were somewhat set up. We met, for those people that have been in this area for a while, we met at the Long Branch.
Okay.
Yes. So that was, that popular nightclub is gone now, but we met at the Long Branch, but it was kind of a setup. We were there to see what lots of people our age at the time would go see, and the chairman of the board.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes. We were there for,
good.
So it was somewhat of a setup. We met. We didn't start dating, though, for several months after that.
Who takes credit for getting you two in the same place to be introduced?
My brother and his now wife.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did they tell you why you needed to meet your wife?
No.
Did they tell her, trust us? We'll leave real quick if you know.
Actually, my wife, I think her side of the story is that when she was given the description of me, she said, "I don't know." I think that was her initial reaction. Yeah, he likes to hunt and fish. And,
okay.
Yeah, I don't know about that. So I did not know I was being set up. Had actually been hunting that day.
Oh, good.
And was literally asleep in my bed at 8:30 or 9 o'clock, on a Saturday night. That was the exciting life I lived because I was a deer hunter. And I get a call from my brother who didn't even know he was in town. He's like, "Hey, chairman of the board in town. You want to go meet me?" Oh, okay, sure, whatever. When you're in your 20s.
Yeah. Time doesn't matter.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, sure, I'll come. So we went to the chairman of the board, and yeah.
Who described you to your wife?
Probably my brother and his now wife. Yeah.
Did the girls know each other?
The girls knew each other. They were roommates.
Oh, where?
Here in town.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Huh. So yeah, I guess most people should stop and think back. All right, in that time, how would I have been described to my future wife?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I don't know that they did the best sales job on my wife because she was a little bit, reluctant. So yeah.
She knew she was coming to meet you, and you had no clue.
Yeah.
That's the best way for guys to go.
Absolutely.
The less we know, the better chance we're not going to totally screw it up.
Absolutely, yeah.
Because otherwise you'd come in primping and looking all that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I rolled out of bed.
You met that night. By the way, how was the concert?
Oh, it's always great.
Yeah.
Chairman of the board were awesome.
Oh, yeah. And that's beach music, folks, not Frank Sinatra, depending on who you've heard of before and after.
Right. Oh, that's right. I should have said I should have put the full name, General Johnson, in the chairman.
But still, no, I've been a great show. How many times did you see them?
Oh, gosh.
Enough.
Yeah, I need more than one hand to count.
All over the state?
All over the state.
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
So you two meet.
Yes.
What happens after that night?
We stayed in touch a little bit, but we really didn't start dating for about, I think it was 9 months later.
What triggered the 9 months? What changed then?
I don't know.
Okay. And you're happy it did whatever happened, right?
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. I guess, she made an impression and I still wanted to stay in touch. And I had tickets to another concert and asked her if she wanted to go out of the blue, and she couldn't make it. But then we started dating.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. How long after you started dating did you get married?
Oh God, why'd you put me on the spot? About a year and a half.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I've heard long engagements, more presents.
Yeah. About a year and a half.
Now, did the description include a killer Southern accent? Probably not.
Probably not. Nah, probably not. Yeah.
Just a good-looking, in shape hunter fisherman.
Yes.
And she did not grow up hunting or fishing. Let me guess.
Her dad is a big fisherman.
Okay, well, you two hit it off then, didn't you?
Yeah, her dad and I. Yeah.
Okay.
We fished together, and he loves talking about fishing. And
what places around the triangle would you recommend people go fishing?
So I'm more of a coastal fisherman.
Yep.
I've done some fishing around here. The big lakes, if you have a boat, are great.
Okay.
Jordan Lake, Falls Lake, Harris Lake, they're all great. They do have some places where you can go fish off the shore. Before I had a boat, well, I don't have one now, but back when I was younger, I would go rent boats out on Lake Wheeler. And
oh, really?
Yeah, you can go out there and rent a boat and go fish.
Mm-hmm.
So,
did you drive a boat before you drove a car?
Yes, absolutely. I owned a boat before I owned a car.
Okay, I believe that.
Yeah.
Well, let's go back to the driving. So was it like a 6-year difference between?
It was pretty close. Yeah. We grew up. Our house was on the water down in Morehead City, and I wanted a boat, man. I wanted to be out in that water, and so my dad helped me find a John boat with a little tiller steer engine on it. And man,
how old were you when you bought that?
I think 12.
What'd you pay for it?
$500.
Really?
Yeah.
How long did it last you?
I guess until I got a car
Okay.
and started working on fishing boats.
Yeah.
And so then, yeah.
Were you one of the few 12-year-olds to own your own boat?
It was a little bit, probably more common than you would expect down
Yeah.
there. A lot of kids my age, we would have, a little boat like that. So
I was happy to have a bike back then.
yeah.
A boat, $500. How'd you save up the money?
I was pretty good at saving.
Okay.
Yeah. So just here and there,
Many lawns to cut down there, or would you
little
just
bit, yeah.
clean boats?
A little bit, odd jobs here and there, saving up allowances, money from Christmas
Okay.
and things like that.
Oh, that's where the grandparents come in handy.
Absolutely. Yeah.
My mom's mom would give everybody, growing up, we'd get a crisp $20 bill. And you got to remember back in the late 60s, early 70s, that was gold right there. We love those. So it's every year, it's like, where's Nana's envelope? So we get that. In a perfect world, what would you go fishing for if you're retired, have all the time you want? What do you go after?
So, I kind of chuckle because I was just talking recently to one of the captains that I used to fish with down at the coast. He's retired now. He still fishes quite a bit. And he goes, Andy, he goes, the older I get, the shallower I fish. And I said, you know what? That makes a lot of sense. When I was younger, and I still do it quite a bit. My brother's got a boat down there now, and we go offshore fishing where you run 40 or 50 miles out, fishing for, wahoo and dolphin, or as people call them mahi, but I still call them dolphin.
Yeah.
Marlin. And I still love doing that. But the older I get, the more easy I want to take the fishing.
Oh, yeah.
We actually went this past summer. We went up to Boone and went to Val Cruces and did some wade fishing.
I don't know what that is.
It's just a little town outside of Boone.
Okay. Right.
Yeah, and we went wade fishing in the creek for trout.
Right.
My daughter and I, and I was just like, I could see how somebody can get into this because your sight fishing is it was really relaxing.
Did you catch anything?
Yeah, we caught a couple trout. Just we did not know what we were doing, but it was a lot of fun.
Did you throw them back or did you take them out for dinner?
We threw them back.
Okay.
Yeah. It was all catch and release. It was a lot of fun. So,
when's the last fish you cleaned and ate?
Back in August.
Okay. What was it?
Wahoo.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
So,
are you a good cook? Like cook of fish?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I will not be humble about that. Yes, I cook fish really well.
All right, so I see 2 reality shows coming out of this. See, I'm here for you. I want the 2% finder's fee, but this is what I do during the conversations. I help people with their careers.
Right.
Not only a business coach, but I play one on the podcast too. So the first one is a fishing show. That's a no-brainer.
Right.
You've got enough experience with your personality. People love the Southern accent. You're on TV. You're 40 miles off the coast. Now I see the B part of that is what you caught with the guests on the show.
Right.
Now you help them cook it.
Catch and cook.
It just writes it. It's the name of the show. It just writes itself.
Yeah.
I hope nobody trademarks that till you can get out of here.
Well, it's on there now. Yeah, I could do that one day.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, these days with technology, you can make your own show, put it up places,
Yeah.
and somebody will pick you up. I'm sure they make about $1 million a year.
Oh, I'm
Once
sure.
your network picks them up, and what a great way to spend the day, right?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Do you remember the first big size fish you caught?
Oh, that's I guess that's subjective. As far as what's a big fish.
It used to be this big, and now
the
fisher, the measuring stick of the fisherman.
No,
right?
not so much as like the older you get, what becomes a big fish. I guess is what
at the time.
Yeah.
At the time.
At the time, yeah.
What do you first remember?
So I remember when we first got our first boat that we could where I started fishing with my dad a lot when he got a boat.
Okay.
And we had a 23-foot well Kraft, and I remember getting it. And all I wanted to do was catch a Spanish mackerel.
And how old are we talking?
13.
Okay.
And all I wanted to do was catch a Spanish mackerel. And we tried multiple trips to catch Spanish mackerel and couldn't catch one. And I will not forget the first one that we caught on the boat. And, it's that big. So
didn't matter.
Yeah. So it didn't matter.
How'd it taste?
It was okay. Yeah, it was good. But what's funny about that is, as I got older, I realized how easy it was to catch Spanish mackerel. And, but we put all this effort into catching one. And when I finally caught one, it was a big deal. You know, I loved it. It was great. Yeah. And so, you know, it was 1.5 pounds or whatever, you know, not a big fish. But then I go to, you know, within a few years of that to where I'm fishing offshore and going marlin fishing and wanted to catch that first marlin. And, you know, that the image of that first marlin that I caught is just, you know, it was a small one. The first marlin I ever caught was a small one. It was probably in the 125 pound range, which is a small one. Okay. But the image of that's, you know, that's burned in my brain too.
So I picture you on the back of a boat, just like in all the TV shows and the movies. You're holding that, hanging on, cussing at the fish, yelling at everybody. I got, you know, whatever you're doing, and the pole is bent over just about in the water, and you're fighting him. You're calling him names. He's calling you names like you're not going to get me. Goes for like a half hour. You're sweating buckets.
Oh, absolutely.
Was it close to that?
Sure.
Okay, good.
Absolutely.
I like those stories.
Yeah.
Once you knew you had him hooked, how long's the fight to get him in the boat?
For like marlin fishing?
Yeah.
It varies, and it's really weird because even sometimes small fish will take a little bit, you know, it'll take a long time. The longest I've ever had one on the line, we caught, when I say we, because a lot of times that's a team effort.
Oh, I figured it was.
Yeah. So we fished a tournament several years ago, and we won second place, and it was 462 pounds. And that was the longest I've ever been on a fish. It was 2.5 hours.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And the guy that we had that was actually on the rod, he was a competent angler. You know, that fish was just stubborn. And then sometimes you'll have fish that'll swim right to the boat, and you'll get them within a matter of a few minutes.
The dumb ones swim right to the boat. Just don't put up a fight.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So the one that doesn't want to get caught, he's hooked. First of all, how big's the hook? Really?
Yeah, it's got a big. But you know, it's funny. So did everybody see the visual? So
yeah.
Okay.
6 inches. I've done that before.
Yeah. So you've got a big hook in its mouth, but you pull a hook that's what we call a 10-aught hook.
Yeah.
You pull it out of a 400-pound fish's mouth. It looks really small.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it goes in there, gets into where it needs to go.
Yeah. I'll show you that hook, and you go, good God, that's a big hook. But coming out of that fish's mouth, it doesn't look very big.
What bait do you use? 100-pound marlin to catch a 400-pound marlin?
You'd be surprised.
Would be.
You'd be surprised at some of the stuff that you've seen come out of their stomachs. But these days in marlin tournaments, most of it's artificial lures.
Yeah.
Back when I used to fish marlin tournaments, we mainly used natural bait, and you'd be talking about a natural bait that was probably 8 to 12 inches long.
If the marlin doesn't want to get caught, he knows he's got a hook in his mouth. I don't know if he knows what's going on. Is he swimming away from the boat, or is he just going?
He's swimming down.
Oh,
those are the ones. Yeah, the ones that jump a lot, which is a lot of fun.
Yeah,
they get tired out real quickly.
Oh,
they get tired out more quickly, and so it's easy. They become a little bit easier to catch. And when they're on the surface, you can chase them with the boat.
Okay.
When they go straight,
ram them with the boat?
No, chase them. Not chase them and ram them. You can.
That's not fair. Got to be some sort of game, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
Can they snap the line?
Oh, absolutely.
So if they go deep.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Anyway. Okay.
Yeah, they can snap the line. Yeah. A lot can go wrong.
All right. So let's move forward. So you're 85 years old, retired, got the life, you got the front porch. What story are you telling to the grandkids, maybe great grandkid, and how much of a lie is that story going to
be? Oh, wow. That's great.
To date, of all the stories you have to date, what's the one you're going to tell them?
Probably the story of that 462-pound fish.
That would be a good one to start with.
Probably the story of that one. And it doesn't need to be embellished.
No.
Yeah.
2.5 hours.
2.5 hours.
Hope that thing tasted good.
They unfortunately, they're pretty much donated to the science labs.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So they don't really get eaten. They're supposedly high in mercury and things like that. So, it's we most of the marlin fishing is catch and release. So out of all the marlins that I've caught, 90+% of them have been released.
Okay.
Yeah. I've only killed 3.
Do you get a picture of them before you release them? Okay, because
yeah.
that's the game, right?
Yeah, that's the game, is getting the release on them. Yeah. So, do you want to hear the story, the whole story?
We will come back to that. Hold that thought, okay? We are here with Andy Kraft, business account executive with Spectrum Business. Today's show is brought to you by Oak City Tech. They give their clients an edge over the competition with web and logo design that make them stand out. They can generate leads for you, which turns into clients, which turns into money. They will help you grow your business. Go to oakcitytech.com. Tell Drago we said hi. All right, so I go when I have a guest. These are every Monday, so usually about Friday. I'll get home for the afternoon and I'll pour a drink and I'll start stalking, researching my guest, whatever you call it. You're very boring on social media, by the way. Very boring. You'll need to change that for next time, okay?
We'll talk about
make
that.
A note of that. Yeah, make a note of that. We'll get back to that. So I'm going through all your, research and stuff, and I just type in Andy Kraft, I type in Andrew Kraft. There's all kinds of people with that name all over the place.
Oh boy.
There's a guy with a Twitter handle. It's Velocicrafter.
Okay.
And I thought, nice. That's a good pull right there. So
nice.
You graduated from UNCW.
Yes, sir.
Now, the text on your LinkedIn page was a little iffy. It said you were the first geography graduate with honors. First student in history of UNCW to graduate with honors in geography.
Right.
You're kidding.
No.
Did they just, I don't want to diminish your goal, but did they just open the program?
So, a little bit.
And I don't really care. First is first.
Right. So, they had honors programs for different disciplines at UNC Wilmington, and the honors program at UNCW was relatively new.
All right.
And so nobody had gone down that path.
Sweet.
And so I decided that it's something that I wanted to do. I did an honors thesis on the race riot that happened in Wilmington in 1898. Oh. And so the gist of how it affected the geography of the town.
Okay.
Based on the demographic change, as far as ironically, as far as how it affected the Black-owned businesses.
Interesting. I'm going to get to that in a second. Where else would you have gone to college if you didn't go to Wilmington?
Well, what was my safety school? Is that what you're asking?
No, just did you care to leave the area?
No, I didn't. No, I applied to UNCW and I applied to ECU.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I love North Carolina.
Yep.
North Carolina's home. I wanted to be away from my town, but I wanted to be close enough that I could still come home.
Yeah.
And I did for the most of my time in college. I was home most weekends.
Really?
Yeah, I was, because I was working, man.
Where'd you work?
On boats.
Okay.
So I'd come home and I'd fish on the weekends.
Yeah.
So
I have your work history here. Some of we'll get to.
Okay.
I want the high school job, the best high school job story, whether you worked there for 5 years or 5 minutes.
Oh, well, working on the fishing boats was, that's a kid's dream. You're getting paid to go fishing. I mean, that was beautiful. I started doing that when I was 16. And I had a captain named Leonard Rigsby who, took a chance on a kid that was, really small for his age. And he was 16, but he looked like he was 11.
Did you really?
Yeah. And, Leonard gave me my first break working on a fishing boat with him on a boat called the Misty Dawn. And we would run half-day trips, mostly.
On weekends?
Well, during the summer.
During the summer, all day, every day.
During the summer, right? Yeah. During the summer.
Oh, you must have been tanned and good.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I had the dark tan.
Tell me the girls were calling. 16-year-old tan.
Not when you look not when you look like you're 11. So
that's true.
Yeah. So the best story about that was I was working on a fishing I wasn't working with Leonard at the time on the Misty Dawn. I'd moved on to a different boat at the time. And my buddy in high school, he was working in the tobacco fields.
Dude.
And he says, "Hey man, why don't you come work with me in the tobacco fields?" I was like, "Are you out of your mind? I'm getting paid to go fishing. Why don't you come work with me?" And I got him a job on one of the boats.
What was the pay back then for you?
It was great, man. It was, it was a lot. It was a lot of money for a kid in high school, where we could go out. A lot of the trips that we ran early on when I first started, we were running half-day trips. And we were mostly going out and catching Spanish mackerel. we'd go out.
Which you were good at, I understand.
Yeah.
So I heard the story.
So we'd leave at 6 a.m. and we'd be back to the dock around 11, and I'd have $80 in my pocket.
Oh.
That's pretty good. You have the boat cleaned up, go eat lunch, and got the rest of the day off.
Nice.
Yeah. How much better does it get when you're in,
Oh, and your friend in those tobacco fields?
Yeah. He wanted me to come work with him in tobacco fields?
Well, he couldn't have been making any more money than you were making.
Oh, no.
And you did it in a half day.
Yeah.
In the sun.
Yeah. He was in the sun, too.
That's true, too, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a tough life.
Yeah,
man. Those
absolutely.
family farms, you grow tobacco and everything. That's impressive. UNCW, now you're also a cartographer.
Former, yeah.
I remember that. Tell me, refresh my memory on the story on that, because you're one of the few, I would say, well, you're the only one in your chapter, probably one of the few in BNI that's a cartographer.
Yeah, well, former cartographer.
No. Are you really former? Like a Marine, once a Marine, always a Marine?
Yeah, I guess so. So, being a geography major, it lends yourself to a handful of different disciplines. I came out of college and went to work with a small company here in Cary that did utility maps. And so I was working primarily on utility maps for, believe it or not, Palo Alto, California.
I was going to ask you, I had a note on that. Where is that? Oh, dang. Did I not write that down? Well, it goes back to the conversation we had before about the forest fires. You got to you got to turn off the electricity.
Yeah.
But anyways, I digress. So.
Yeah.
But you enjoyed that.
I did enjoy it. Yeah. It was enjoyable. Yeah. I like that artistic nature of the mapping. I've always been spatially oriented.
Okay.
I've got an internal compass. So I usually know which way I'm headed. I've kind of ingrained in me.
I love when people go, turn north on James Frank. Yeah. I'm like, no, is that right or left?
Yeah,
Let's just stop right here.
Yeah.
And if it's nighttime, how do I know where the sun is to go north? Come on, man. So that helps you with fishing as well, with all the maps and the depth finders and everything like that.
Yeah. So that's always appealed to me. So I worked for a small company for a while, and then I worked for the state for a little while. They have a group called CGIA, which is Center for Geographic Information and Analysis. At least that's what it used to be called. I don't know what it's still called. And worked for them for several years and enjoyed it. I guess the issue was I wanted to make a little bit more money.
Yes.
And I got into a sales role because
it's very impressive, and I get why you are. We've known each other a couple years, and I get that. Because you're not one of those salesmen. You're a helper. Right. You're an informer of people. Here's why you should go with this.
Right.
Okay. You're an educator. But I'm looking at your LinkedIn profile, and the times you've been recognized as either the top salesperson or one of the top 5% or top 5 is more often than not.
Right.
Where'd that come from?
I guess it goes back to take it back to working on the fishing boats. It's funny you mentioned that, because from a personality aspect of it, my mom, when I first got into sales, she was like, "You're doing what?" She was like, "I never would have seen you being in a sales role, because I'm not the hard sell kind of guy."
You're not. Yes,
I'm not going to be that guy.
Yeah.
But one of the things that I learned working on the fishing boats was just an incredible work ethic. One of the boats that I worked on during college was a boat called the Sea Wife, and
I like that.
Yeah, and in that industry, if you've got a trip and the weather's good, you're going out.
Yep.
You don't take days off because it's the weekend or whatever. So we ran 28 days straight one time, and you're talking 14-hour days every day, 28 days straight. And, it's a physically demanding job. And then the other, that was a boat called the Sea Wife.
Okay.
With a guy named Captain Hugh Wild.
Cool name.
Cool name. And a similarly cool name was, I worked for a gentleman named James Benjamin Harker, also known as Woo Woo Harker. Everybody's got a nickname.
Woo Woo.
Woo Woo Harker, yes. And he ran the head boat down in Morehead City called the Carolina Princess.
Okay.
And he's the hardest working man I've ever met.
Really?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And so just, working like that, able to apply it to this, one of the things in BNI that we talk about when we do our bio sheets is, your key to success. And somebody once wrote, the key to success is, half of it showing up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But then my part of it is maximize the time that you're there.
Yeah.
But, I'm still, my wife goes, aren't you the first one to get into your office every day? I'm like, yeah, pretty much. Aren't you the last one to leave? Yeah, pretty much. So
it kind of works.
It kind of works. Yeah.
It's one of those system things. I just would love the people and you're in the corporate world now. So you just came from a meeting.
Right.
And I love the 9:00 meeting there's always one person at 9:02 they walk in.
Right.
And where their career's headed.
Yeah.
Unless they're that good.
Yeah.
And that arrogant. And you'll see them, but it rarely happens. But there's a reason why they're always 2 minutes late.
Exactly.
And they're not going far.
Yeah. We had our 9:00 meeting this morning, and I'd been there an hour and a half already.
Oh, yeah.
So,
yeah.
Yeah.
The other thing I remember, because I used to be in Andy's chapter, the other thing I remember you talking about all the time is your toughest competition is your own company.
Right. So, not be put on the spot and don't want to denigrate my own company. You mentioned Ellen. I mean, you mentioned our advertisements.
Oh, yeah.
We advertise everywhere.
Yeah.
We get flyers in the mail, and I go to businesses. I'll never forget. Not too long ago, I went to this business, and he said, "Man, I don't check my mail often. I'm gonna go run out and check my mail." And he hadn't checked his mail in probably 3 or 4 weeks. And he came back, and he probably had 3 or 4 things from Spectrum Business in his mail. So that's my own competition. We've got so many sales channels, which is great.
Yes.
It gets our sort of name recognition out there. But to be able to get the level of support, having somebody local, that's a big benefit.
Is your day mostly knocking on doors?
Not so much now. I've got a great base of referral partners through BNI.
Yeah.
Obviously, that's a huge benefit for me of having a built-in group of people that are out there, helping sell my business as well. And then other partners that I work with on a regular basis. I was on the phone with one of them on the way over here. So I don't have to knock as many doors as I used to. I still go out there and do it though.
Oh yeah.
And I said, it's one of the things that I tell myself is good things happen when I get out and knock doors.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So you're gonna uncover stuff.
You never know.
Yeah.
That you're there at 11:15 on a Tuesday, and at that very moment, somebody's fed up.
Absolutely. Yep. Yep.
And people, most of us have done cold calling, and it's horrible usually.
Right.
Because you walk in the door and they just see on your forehead, sales guys.
Right.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
And I get this occasionally is, well, don't you hate being told no? And it's like, well, first of all, I'm a husband and a father. I've been told no before.
Yeah.
Not a surprise. But the other thing I've come to learn is they just don't need me today.
Right.
And that doesn't mean, oh, you're horrible. Your company, they don't need me today. Whatever service I'm selling and they like. So I'm like, great, stay with them.
Yeah, absolutely. So I guess the key is just don't take it personal.
No, you can't.
They're not rejecting you personally.
No.
They might be rejecting your offer. They might be rejecting it, and it may not be it may be a no for now.
Yeah. And
not a no forever.
Yeah.
So it's just,
I'm with you. Yeah.
Yeah. You got to have a little bit of a thick skin.
Yeah.
And you just don't take it personally.
I would try to get 20 business cards handed to me because it's always the gatekeeper on the B2B.
Right.
Can you get past the gatekeeper? If not, can you entertain them enough where they remember?
Right.
He's like, okay, yeah, here, Andy's the guy you need to talk to, but just send him an email, all your stuff.
Yeah.
And that's all I'm looking for.
Right.
So I used to play the game. If I could get 20 of those, here comes my biggie sweet tea. That's my reward to myself.
Absolutely. And a lot of times, getting out and pulling doors, a lot of times is just planting seeds. And that's what you're doing.
Oh, yeah.
I had a great example of this last week. I had somebody call me completely out of the blue.
Love those.
And she said, hey, my contract's expired. Can you come talk to me? And I was like, yeah, I'll be glad to talk to you. What's your address? I hadn't cold called at that address in at least 2 years.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. So
nice.
She had kept apparently I made enough of an impression.
Yeah.
That she had kept my contact information.
And that's all you're really trying to do. Because most people on the spot aren't going to buy something, especially when you're changing over a system.
Right.
when I would walk into an office, I'm begging for a logo or a picture because I want to talk about everything else except why I'm there. And then you talk, oh, you went to, you see a Carolina logo. Oh, you went to Carolina, and like, I saw Duke one the other day, and they get going, talk basketball, whatever it is. But you're talking about that, not selling, not sales. And then at the end, in the conversation, that may extend it 2 or 3 more minutes. And then you finally just say, well, I appreciate your time if we can ever do anything for you. And you've just become memorable. And so it's ladies like that or whoever kept that for a reason.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because you didn't come in and go, you have to.
Yeah.
And that stuff doesn't work.
Yeah, it's really just about being yourself and just being comfortable in the role.
Yeah.
If you're uncomfortable because you're scared or, you're nervous or apprehensive, that comes across. And just being comfortable in it and confident, being a little bit confident helps, obviously.
And I talk to people when I do some training, you're not walking in selling. Do not go out cold calling every day. I got to get 3 accounts because you'll be totally disappointed if you don't. If you walk in there, was like, just, we're here to help. Right. If you have any problems, you need anything, you give me a call, ask a couple questions, whatever I can help you with. And if you just look at it that way.
Yeah.
Because people want to buy. They don't want to be sold to.
Right.
If that goes against everything you're trying to do cold calling, you're just like, I got to eat this week. So I need 4 new accounts. That's my goal for myself, which is fine.
And we've been there. I've been there. I've been on that where, gosh, man, I've got to go out there. And it's not fun.
No, it is not.
Yeah. So.
The first day, who did you do your earliest cold calling with? Which one of these companies you used to work for?
For the people that have been here around here for a while, BTI.
Okay.
Yes.
Your first couple days with BTI. You remember those?
Yes.
How many doors you knocked on?
Well, once I got past the initial training, I was probably scared to death because it was such a leap for me, and it was such a different.
It's hard.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, cold calling is hard.
Yeah, it was, and it was oh my gosh, what have I got myself into kind of thing.
And then the first 10 say no.
Yeah.
You're questioning everything.
It was a little bit unnerving at first. So,
do you find now when you're walking in the door as Spectrum, the fact that most people have heard of it, does that help or hurt?
It does help.
Okay.
Yeah, it helps that they've heard of us. There is that name recognition that goes well. And honestly, if somebody's had a bad experience,
sure.
That's where, being a trusted advisor and somebody that can listen.
Yeah.
A lot of times, if they've had a bad experience, they just want somebody that's going to listen to them.
Exactly.
And eventually they may come back around to you.
Oh yeah.
So I'm not here to, I have seen people that, if a customer, they walk into a customer and immediately that customer starts fussing at them, they turn around and walk away.
Oh yeah.
I'm not going to do that. I want to sit there and listen. I had one the other day where the guy legitimately had a bad experience, and I sat there and listened to him, and walked out and then walked back in and thanked him. And I was like, hey man, you legitimately could have really just let me have it for my company or, for something. And, I appreciate you not, but I sat there and took 10 minutes to listen to what his concerns were.
I've managed in previous lives, I've run a couple of facilities, so I've managed people before, and I've told them customer service 101, you're going to be good at it if you can go just like you did, step right into the lion's den.
Oh, absolutely.
Take your ass whooping.
Yeah.
But you earn that guy's respect.
Yeah.
He may or may not call you back, but you listen, because more times than not, when a client, and if people next time they're out shopping or eating and there's an issue and the customer is, hey, our food was late, or you said I could return this, now I can't. And just listen for what the first thing out of the employee's mouth is, oh no, that's what you ordered.
Right.
Okay, we've just lost you from there. That's not good customer service, because the customer just wants to vent. They want you to know, I hear you.
Yeah.
And most people try to cut them off and argue with them, and they're horrible customer service.
And occasionally you can turn that into a huge positive.
Absolutely.
And if you got a second, my biggest customer started off with a cold call where I pulled a door, and it was a really cool industry, and I wanted to talk with the guy. I won't get too much into it, unless
A cool industry for you?
just in general.
Okay.
Yeah.
You say whatever you want.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep.
So, it's a company here locally. I'll give them a little plug.
Sure.
They do special events. They do networking for special events. And when I talk about special events, I mean big special events.
I told this story.
Yeah, Lollapalooza,
Yep. I remember
South by
this.
Southwest. It's a
Yep.
company called Tour Tech here in
Mhm.
Raleigh. And I walked in and I saw their tour posters and everything, and I started talking to the guy that owned it. And I was like, "Yeah, this is really cool." And he was already a customer of ours of Time Warner at the time. And I was really intrigued because I love live music,
Mhm.
and just got to talking to him a little bit about that. So I start walking out the door, and he goes, "You know what I hate about your company?" In the back of my head, oh God, here we go. So I was like, he goes, every time I go to a new market, I've got to reinvent the wheel. Okay. Back then we had contracts and we didn't do one-offs. We didn't do, hey, I need service here for, just a short
A
amount of time.
weekend. Yeah.
Yeah. And so he said, hey, I need somebody that I can go to locally who can, take
Mhm.
care of me, at my events and not have to reinvent the wheel every time I do a new event. He go, can you do that for me? And again, the answer as a sales guy is, if you don't know, say you don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I will find out.
And that's what he wanted to hear right there.
Exactly. And so
Yep.
do a lot of business with them still.
And now, so if they're going to Austin next weekend, you let the Austin folks know or what he put in the system?
Yep.
Okay. Oh God, you must have added 10 years to his life by doing
we were at some event or something where he and I were there, and he was talking to one of his other partners, and he introduced me as his competitive advantage. And I was like, oh man, that gets me right in the feels.
I like that.
Yeah.
But going back to your company though, because you guys are so big, I think I've got in general the story right. You'd go cold call on somebody and they would just call the 1-800 number or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is good and bad. It's good for the company.
Right.
Keeps you employed, but bad's like, dude, I put in all the work.
Exactly. Yes.
I had, in 2016, you were the number one account executive in year-to-date sales. Would that be correct? That's on your bio. So
2016, I'm trying to think.
The Raleigh market.
Yes.
Okay. Right.
Yeah.
Here's the one I liked though. Chatley Boat and Marine.
Yes.
What year was that? When
was
that high school? No.
Oh, no.
This when you were part owner, part manager of.
No, that's a little bit of a different story.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Anyways, what told me that you're pretty good at this is you were in sales, you were 13% over the 2008 numbers for 2009.
Right.
And people have to stop and think for a second. It's like, 13, big whoop.
Yeah.
Remember what went on in 2009 when the economy took a dump?
Right.
And you still ended up 13% over.
Yeah.
That's the one that got my eye.
So that was, I give another plug to Chatley. I worked with them for several years down in Sanford. They are a great boat dealership, great family run operation. The year before, the 2008 was my first year selling boats down there. Okay. So then moving it was easy to increase. Okay. Cause you learn a lot.
Yep.
What we saw in the boat industry then though was a lot of consolidation. When the economy, went south for a little bit, a lot of the smaller boat dealers went out of business.
Oh, it cleared out a lot of industries.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly. So the really good companies that really, did a great job, they stayed around and did well. So, yeah.
But that's impressive to sell anything in 2009,
right.
Especially fun money things.
Yeah, exactly.
It's one thing to sell food and transportation, but you're selling boats in a tough economy.
Yeah.
Man, I'm a little bit proud of that, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Here's the funny thing. So I'm on your Facebook page, which by the way, you need to upgrade your social media stuff. So, but I do like the pictures of the kids. That's cool stuff. In the timeline, and I forget what it is, major events or significant events, whatever it is, you had in 1988, and I hope I got this right. There's no embarrassing story. It says you left West Carteret High School. Didn't say you graduated.
Oh, wow. I guess, yeah.
Then I'm thinking, do I ask this on air? Or
No, I did graduate. Yes, I graduated from.
That was so.
I did not know that was the
man. I
vocabulary used.
And that may be the only option it gives you. I don't remember what I filled mine out. So, but I thought it was pretty funny.
I'm still a little bit of a social media novice.
I'm with you. Yeah,
I jumped into it a little bit reluctantly,
yeah.
and my wife still makes fun of me because I used to give her such a hard time about her being on social media, and I'm never going to do that. And then finally, I realized for business purposes, I needed to have somewhat of a social media presence.
Yeah, just because that's where everybody's going.
Absolutely.
And your kids, especially mine, are 32 and 29. Yours are 16.
No, 15 and 12.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
That's all your kids are going to know.
Oh, absolutely.
Is that phone. And everything they get, if it doesn't come, I'm firmly convinced, even with my boys sometimes, if they don't get it on, if it did not come across their phone, it didn't happen.
Right.
I think
absolutely.
that's where it's just so. If you want to get, especially as a business owner, if you want to get that millennials or whatever you call them, you better get to their phone.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you've got to have some kind of a presence out.
And are you guys to the point where you can turn on and turn off the TV and all that stuff yet?
At home, yeah, we can. We don't. I mean, our kids are more. They don't watch TV. Kids don't watch TV anymore.
Oh, because they're always streaming stuff.
Yeah,
they're watching videos.
Yeah. The actual TV. Yeah, it's there. We'll watch sports.
Yeah.
My son and I. He's got a fantasy football team.
Tell me you're winning. You're beating him.
Oh, we're not in the same league.
Oh, okay, smart on your part.
So. Yeah, no. We set up a league. I did Y Guides with my kids, which was a great experience. Give a plug for the YMCA and the Y Guides program. It's a great program for dads and their kids. And his tribe, we set up a fantasy football league for those boys, which is a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun watching.
Oh yeah,
a bunch of 11 and 12-year-old boys get together and make football picks.
Yeah.
And then Sunday rolls around and we watch NFL Red Zone and
it teaches you, and there's a lot of lessons to get through sports, and I firmly believe that, having grown up coach out. But it teaches you to research.
Yeah.
And then when you're winning, it teaches you how to trash talk. And I just love both of those.
Oh yeah. The trash talk. 12-year-old trash talk is a lot of fun.
It's been a while since I've heard that.
Yeah.
Okay. What are they zeroing in how dumb you were to make that pick?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or how lucky you got because.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's so good.
Yeah.
Do you worry about cord cutters?
No.
Okay.
I don't. We actually, I gave my 10-minute in BNI a few weeks ago, and I actually discussed this. What I did was I pulled a bunch of news clippings and articles and advertisements over the past 10 years of the death of the industry. And
still going on.
It's still going on. And then I pulled our stock prices from what they were 10 years ago to what they are now. Yeah. And so, there have been investment people, you got to get out of cable. You got to get out of cable.
Yeah.
And man, we're the future's bright. I mean, because, we're still, if we were relying 100% on TV, absolutely. Yes.
Yeah.
We would be dying. So, but, we're delivering other products and delivering them really, really well.
The one of the biggest things I say about cable, and I've, like everybody else, been approached to get a satellite and a dish and all that stuff. And again, wonderful companies. It's that rainstorm.
Right.
And I know they hate hearing this, but I've seen it happen. I was at a bar one day.
Oh, yeah.
Watching a football game, and the whole bar crapped out.
Absolutely.
Because of a storm that wasn't going on in Raleigh. It was at the point of the origination of the signal.
Right.
What do you do?
Yeah.
And I know they hate hearing that, but that's everywhere. I go to that every time.
Yeah. And we do that too from a sales perspective. Of talking to business owners about that. If you're here on a Sunday and your business is showing football and you have a storm, how much revenue are you going to lose?
Oh,
yeah. And it may be a conversation of, leave the dish there. Okay. But just bring us in as a backup.
I'm wondering how many places have that.
Yeah. Yeah. The only issue you rise into, and I spoke with a bar owner about it, and it's a legitimate issue, and there are some solutions around it, is having us as a backup and the customer going, yeah, I want that game, but I want it on that TV. So there's some solutions getting around that too, as far as having, the equipment in the back to move signals to different TVs.
Yeah. I just envision one day again when Tennessee will play for the national championship. It won't be this year, next year, and you're in the fourth quarter, they're at the 8, down 3, and all of a sudden there's a storm in Houston where the signal is originating from, and I'm here in Raleigh, and I missed that play. It's like, can't have that. So anyways, thank you, Andy, very much. Enjoyed having you on. Andy's business account executive with Spectrum Business. Please go to Spectrum Business. You've also seen Andy's phone number on the screen here. If you work out of your house, please call Andy to set up your own business account. It'll be better because you'll have his cell phone number. Something goes wrong. But as he said, if there's any issues, they restore the business accounts first. So go give Andy a call on that. If you got a business or somebody running business out of your house, he will take good care of you. We thank you for being on the show.
My pleasure.
And we'll see you next week on Triangle BNI.
You are tuned to the Nissan Communications Network. If you tuned in too late, you can always watch each program in its entirety or download an MP3 audio file of it in the archives section at nissancommunications.com. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Twitter, and like us on Facebook. Sponsored by Telestream's Wirecast software, StreamingGear.com, Carolina Apparel, and DeltaForce.net.